Mother's grave together.
I had no idea that he had never been there in the 33 years since she passed away. It was an overwhelming moment.
I get a sense that when your father did pass, that you had a sense of peace.
Well, I got my blood tests back, and it says your labs show you're anemic with low iron, low vitamin B12, low vitamin B1, low vitamin D, low copper level, and your thyroid is also low. And then I'm given more vitamins to take, and then have my labs repeated in 8 weeks. So that's good. At least right now I don't need a blood transfusion, but that's still not ruled out. I'm also gonna start seeing a dermatologist for vitiligo that I have. It's been getting worse because of the malnutrition and the anemia and all that, and I still don't have any updates on getting my teeth fixed, but they've really actually been hurting me more than usual lately, and I think it's because of using fans and air conditioning. That seems to really trigger my teeth hurting. I keep hashtagging the doctor in Beverly Hills, like all my Instagram posts and stuff, and the only thing I've heard is just make an appointment, but again, I don't know what that's gonna entail, and right now I just can't afford the money to go down to Los Angeles, because we literally are robbing Peter to pay Paul right now because of my husband being out of work for 6 months, and I can't work because on top of everything else, I actually have a neck injury. I herniated 3 discs at work in 2010, and the first surgery I had a plate and 2 rods, and about 6 months later I started having extreme pain, and what made me sick is they actually thought at the hospital that I was doctor shopping for prescriptions, because I kept going into the emergency room, saying this hurts. I didn't need to doctor shop. I was already taking morphine, oxycodone, Percocet, and I think that was it at the time. Methadone came into play later. I was actually taking all 4, but when you have gastric bypass, you don't absorb all your medications, so I think I only absorb like 7 to 10% of the pill's actual potency, so I never really get good pain relief, but that's going to be another story, another video. But they finally found that the hardware was failing, and my body was actually rejecting it was cadaver bone plug. My body was rejecting the cadaver bone plug, so an 1.5-hour surgery actually ended up being an 8.5 to 9-hour surgery. They actually screwed one of those halos in my head because it was a lot worse in there than they thought. And a couple of months after that, I actually ended up getting a really bad infection. It was deep tissue cellulitis. So they had to go back in. The first surgery I was only cut here. The second surgery I was cut here, and I was cut in the back, and I can't even tell you how painful that was. Horrible. The third surgery for the cellulitis, I had to go back in the back again, and I was actually at a PICC line in for 35 days. It was horrible. I had to inject myself with IV antibiotics like 3 times a day through the PICC line. And then several years after that, I had a perforated ulcer in the pouch and had to have an emergency surgery. My original scar from gastric bypass was about that big, and it was beautiful. The doctor did a beautiful job. The scar from the emergency surgery, it looks like the doctor gutted me. Like, it was 4 times as big, crooked, puffy, disgusting. But I was also like hours from death because I didn't know what was happening, and it finally got to the point where I just kept throwing up, and every time I'd move I'd just throw up, and the pain was getting worse. So my grandmother actually called an ambulance, and they said if you waited a few more hours you'd be dead. That's how serious it was. So I'm not mad at the scar. no, that was another 15-day hospital stay. And I still didn't take my health seriously. I still took for granted, that I don't need to take vitamins. I don't, blah, blah, blah. And it was about 3 years ago, I had a little spot on my tooth, and I didn't know what it was. I actually went to the dentist, and they didn't know what it was either. They'd never seen anything like that. And then I had x-rays done, and one dentist said you might need a root canal on a cavity that was filled years ago, like when I was a kid. But nothing serious. And then literally within months, I just lost my teeth, little by little. Last night I actually hit the broken chop one with my toothbrush, and oh my god, I chipped more of it. I was scared that the whole tooth was going to come out, because it's bad as it is, but that would just be worse. I love to sing, but I can't even really sing very well anymore because I lisp really bad because of the teeth. It sounds weird. I'm actually gonna upload a song so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But anyways, I just wanted to give an update on my blood tests, and I just want to thank everybody who's been viewing my videos. Like I say, if I can just touch one person and help one person, that's just going to make me the happiest person in the world. I want to stress the importance of taking your vitamins after any kind of a weight loss surgery. And I love you, and subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the little bell that everyone talks about, and I will give another update as soon as I can. And I'm going to start doing makeup videos too, because you can see my name is Makeup for Mimi. My whole goal was to want to bring awareness to gastric bypass survivors, but I also want to talk about makeup for older people. Like, I'm 47. I don't know if you can see glitter. I love glitter. I love that. And they say, oh, you can't wear glitter on your eyelids after a certain age because of the crepiness, but I want to break those rules. I want to scream from the rooftops that age doesn't matter. If you want to wear clown makeup and look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show, you go for it. So I'm going to start doing some of those. I have tons of makeup to share, and I've got a lot of opinions, so we will get that going soon too. But I'll keep updating about the malnutrition and my teeth, and so far no one's been mean to me, and I really appreciate that. I know, like, with the internet you get trolls that are just awful and cruel, but so far everyone's been so sweet and kind to me, and that has meant more to me than you could ever know, because we're essentially strangers, and people that don't know me are being nicer to me than people that do, and that actually touches me. So I appreciate it. I love you guys, and I will give an update as soon as I can. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Mwah.